Welcome to Box Score Studio, where the stats speak, the stories hit harder, and every take comes straight off the playbook. Let's talk sports.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's 2026. And as mentioned before, hey, man, it's Box Score Studio. We're coming to you live. We're coming to you with a lot of shows in 2026. As you can tell, we've got a revamped studio a little bit here. We've got a lot that's going to be going on. Appreciate everybody that's been supporting us. Give a quick shout out before we get to go any further here. Giving a quick shout out, man, the Derek Gervin story. So that was the first documentary we did here at Box Score Studio. It's also a part of Dope Fresh Media. Be sure to follow Dope Fresh Media on X and wherever social media you're using out there. Follow Dope Fresh Media. And also follow Box Score Studio. We presented the Derek Gervin story. It's a 4-part series that you can only find on YouTube. All you got to do is search Box Score Studio TV. Hit that subscribe button. Don't need to pay. There's no paid subscription. There's nothing like that. Just be sure to subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. That way you can watch the Derek Gervin story. He talks about his time in Detroit growing up. Did he, his first time playing basketball, organized basketball really, was for the PAL League, the police league that's up in Detroit, where he starts over at MLK High School. The transition from Detroit down to San Antonio, where he registered and played for UTSA. Did you realize that Derek had a lot of opportunities to go to other schools, including the University of Texas, who was highly recruiting him, but he chose UTSA? Why did he choose UTSA? Derek goes into a lot more depth on the Derek Gervin story, which you could find on Box Score Studio TV on YouTube. And what else does he do? Talks about his struggles in the NBA. He was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers, didn't make the 76ers roster, got picked up by the New Jersey Nets at the time. And it's kind of a crazy thing. He has an injury. The injury derails his NBA career, but because that door closed, an even greater one opened for an overseas career, where he talks about that being, a 2-time scoring champion overseas, MVP. It's a remarkable, it's an amazing documentary. You've got to check it out today. The Derek Gervin story, brought to you by Dope Fresh Media and Box Score Studio, only on Box Score Studio TV YouTube channel. How is everybody doing out there? We've got the comments in here. The Doctor of Style Sith saying, let's go. You can catch Sith and, of course, Jacob. You can catch them on Grading the Market here on Box Score Studio. Sith also has, I think, a show that's going to get going as well. We got a lot going on. We got more documentaries coming up. We've got a couple of boxing documentaries coming up as well. So tons of stuff that are going to be released on our YouTube channel, which is Box Score Studio TV. Sam Salinas, good evening, boys. I appreciate you joining us here, Sam. Quick shout out to everybody. So the documentary got released, and as of right now, let me check the total here, because this is a crazy total. We released the documentary a little before Christmas. Actually, it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Day was when we released the documentary. Because of your support, because of everybody out there, we are finally at 2,500 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Could not do this without you guys' support out there. Much love to you. We have a lot going up here. We've got some sponsors in the works as well. Also, you can support the channel. We will be having a Cash App, or however you want to do that to support the channel. You guys want to do all that as well too, we'd be more than happy to have you do that as well, because hey, we support everybody. You support us, we support you. Appreciate everybody out there. Us Together 794 says, hello, sir. How are you doing? He's asking, who is your favorite football team? For everybody out there that knows, I am a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. I know heartache. The Falcons have broken my heart many times, including that 28-3 lead over the Patriots in the Super Bowl, which they did lose. We do not bring that up here on Box Score or formally sweep the league. I am an Atlanta Falcons fan. Quick story on that. The reason why I'm an Atlanta Falcon fan is I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. Mr. Falcon himself is Tommy Nobis. He went to school in San Antonio, Jefferson High School. My dad was a big fan of Tommy Nobis. I had family that went to Jefferson as well. Followed Tommy Nobis through his, years at Texas, then getting drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. Because my dad was a Tommy Nobis fan, I just loved, the original Falcon, the original Mr. Falcon. So, I mean, what can I say? Atlanta Falcons, will never, ever, I've said it before, they'll never, ever be a Super Bowl champion, probably in my lifetime. I hope that does change. We did have a coaching fire, so we'll get into that here in a little bit. But yeah, I am a Falcons fan. Oh, sorry, man. I'm a Patriots fan, ironically. LOL. Hey, man, shout out to you. Patriots, they came back. They have the greatest, one of the greatest players of all time in Tom Brady, 28-3 lead. The guys, you'll come to find out on the show and the channel, the guys never let me down on that. They never will let me forget that. So, yeah. And shout out to Glenn Paul 3271. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. Says the NFC South is a joke. I totally agree with you, man. The NFC South has been a joke for a very, very long time. Shout out to Chris Leha, MCS General Contracting, the Saints fan out there. Shout out to Stats, a guy that's part of Box Score Studio in the background. He's a Buccaneers fan. I, of course, am a Falcons fan. I do know one person who's a Carolina Panther fan. So, yeah, we're all pretty miserable. We're all pretty miserable when it comes to the NFC South. Appreciate you joining us here. Again, Box Score Studio TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. 2,500 of you are already subscribers. We can double that here. And again, it's the Derek Irvin documentary, our first documentary that was released, all part of Box Score Studio TV and Dope Fresh Media. Says, well, I'm out. You earn yourself a sub. I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that. Be sure to come back here from time to time. We'll be going live a lot more in 2026 as we revamped everything. See you on the next time, man. Appreciate you joining us out here. Again, you can't support the show. We'll put that link up here in just a little bit. If you want to support the show, we truly appreciate that here. First things first, man. Black Monday's upon us, man. Black Monday's upon us. You see the guys that have been fired in the last week or so. Harbaugh was today. You've got Stefanski, Gannon, you've got Pete Carroll, and of course, you see the Dirty Bird himself up there and Raheem Morris. So, yeah, see you, brother. Yeah, appreciate everything you're doing here, man. Black Monday's upon us. The most surprising, and again, if you guys have been on board with Sweep the League, which is of course the original show, the original showcase, Sweep the League from back in the day. 2 years ago, myself, Gio, and Derek Irvin, we said that Jim Harbaugh was probably going to be fired. And we called it for that season because, yes, Jim Harbaugh's had success. What is it, 18 years with the Ravens, like 12 years in the playoffs, obviously won a Super Bowl. But we had been telling you guys out there, Harbaugh's on the hot seat. 2 years ago, we mentioned it because you're either going to get rid of John Harbaugh, or you're going to get rid of Lamar Jackson. Now, you're not going to get rid of Lamar. Obviously, MVP. One of those guys was going to have to go. There's no doubt about that at all. Personally, I love Harbaugh as a coach. I don't think Lamar Jackson has ever been that guy that's going to get you a Super Bowl win. But unfortunately, when it comes to professional sports, the coach is the one that gets the axe, not your two-time MVP. Not your quarterback who's at least gotten you to the playoffs. The coach is going to be at fault. It's not a shock that Harbaugh was fired. It really is not a shock that Harbaugh was fired. We've been expecting that. It would have been more of a shock if Lamar was traded. But like you said, that was not going to happen. So now Harbaugh being the top free agent out there with teams like the Falcons, Browns, Raiders, Cardinals, as you see. And don't forget Tennessee and the Giants. Which team would Harbaugh go to? If it was Jerry, he would have gotten rid of Jackson, just saying, I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. I'm very surprised Jerry hasn't gotten rid of Dak yet, to be honest with you. Dak's not the problem. I will gladly say Dak is not the problem. Coaching has been the problem when it comes to the Cowboys. We've got a quote-unquote Box Score Studio trade idea for you Cowboy fans that we'll bring up here in just a little bit. And we're going to talk more in depth about it tomorrow. But we'll bring it up at the end of the show. But where does Harbaugh go? The most appealing job, the most enticing jobs. I've got two of them, really. That is the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons. You've got a great young core. You got an up-and-coming defense. That would be one of them. The other one is the New York Football Giants. You're in a big market, the biggest market probably, or one of the biggest markets in New York. young quarterback who's already going to be one of the better quarterbacks in the league in the next few years. You've got a good running back in Cam Scatterbo, as long as he doesn't play battering ram every single game. You've got a great receiver in Malik Neighbors. You've got really good second and third receivers. You've got great draft position this offseason. You've got a defense that is on the rise with the Giants. If there is a perfect situation for Harbaugh, welcome to New York. Welcome to the Big Apple. I am calling Harbaugh, and I am just basically giving him that huge max deal to get him as the next head coach of the New York Giants. Where do we see Cliff Kingsbury was actually let go or fired from the Commanders? Could we see Kingsbury go maybe to Atlanta? Which I've got a very hot take right now for the Falcons job. I'm going to give it to you in a little bit here. Could we see Kingsbury go maybe to the Raiders? There are a lot of options out there that we can see happen, and a lot of positions that we could see come and go. Probably within the next couple of weeks, obviously, definitely before the draft, we're going to see a lot of these positions, if not all of them, filled already. Let me go to the Falcons position real quick here. Atlanta's position. Very, very hot take right now. Very hot. If the Packers lose, I'm going to say this right now. And I mean, again, how hot of a take is this? It's extremely hot, but we've got to get everything on tape. We've always got to get everything on tape here. If we don't get it on tape, then we got people saying, no, you did. You never said that. Well, yeah, we did. We did say that. We got to get everything on tape. If the Packers lose in the first round of the playoffs against the Bears, I'm saying right now, goodbye, Matt LaFleur. Goodbye. You're gone. And it actually may be it may be a good thing. It may be an agreement by both parties. But I think if the Packers lose to the Bears, Matt LaFleur is gone. He has all the ties to Atlanta. I really feel that if they lose and he gets fired, Matt LaFleur will be the next coach of the Atlanta Falcons. Lots of ties to Atlanta. I think he would be the perfect coach for Atlanta. Has a great system. You saw what he did with the Green Bay Packers. He can do the same with Michael Penix. He's got a great receiver there, Drake London. He can maybe get a good amount of work for Kyle Pitts. Of course, you got Bijan Robinson. Atlanta's defense is, again, an up and rising defense. It's an up-and-coming defense. Mark my words, 13-minute mark of this show. Packers lose week in the first round of the playoffs. Goodbye, Matt LaFleur. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. Shout out to them out there. Y'all know what song that is. That is the NFL coaching carousel right now. It's Rudy Campos. It's Box Score Studio. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here today. What do we got next, man? You want more football? We'll go from the pros to more to where you guys are going to start clowning on me a whole lot more. Why? I had Clemson before the season started. I had Clemson winning everything. I said Clemson's going to be the team to beat. Why? You've got two guys that are about to be drafted possibly in the top 10, more likely top 15 of the draft on defense. You supposedly had one of the best QBs coming back in Cade Klubnik. Dabo did not dabble into the transfer portal. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. Take notes from the guy that Coach Gio has been putting on a pedestal and building a statue for the past 2 years in Kurt Signetti. Take notes, Dabo. You've got to make your team better through the transfer portal. That is why the Indiana Hoosiers have gone from who to damn. The number 1 overall seed in college football, the Indiana Hoosiers. Kurt Signetti, first year at Indiana, wonders. got him to the CFP. Second year at Indiana. The best team in the country, both sides of the ball. Do you believe in Fernando Mendoza? As of right now, I've got Mendoza as the second best quarterback in the NFL draft. I actually like Dante Moore a little bit more. Weird, more and more. I like Dante Moore a little bit more. Will he get drafted before Mendoza? Probably not. But I do like Dante Moore. So for those of y'all coming at me about hey, Rudy, you took Clemson. I did take Clemson to win. But we can always right the wrong, and that's what we're doing here. My ESPN playoff bracket busted because I did not have Oregon beating Texas Tech. I had Texas Tech winning. I definitely did not have Miami winning that game. I definitely didn't have Ole Miss beating Georgia. Miami's on a mission. As of right now, if you said, Rudy, best defensive team in college football for the remaining four, Miami's probably up there. Miami is probably the best defensive team up there. And that's me, who is absolutely in love with the Indiana Hoosiers defense. I really love the Indiana Hoosiers defense. But playing right now, just right now, give me the Miami Hurricanes defense right now. Just a little bit above Indiana's. Previewing Miami, Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambliss, can he get it done for Ole Miss? Ole Miss is playing with that Lane Kiffin card, that chip on their shoulder. You left us. You went to LSU. You could have waited until the end of the season to go to LSU. But no, you jump ship right now. Later, guys, I'm out. Oh, and on the way out, I'm throwing a middle finger at you. Good luck. They have taken it and ran with it. They have taken it and ran with it. Trinidad Chambliss is playing unbelievable right now. But he's going to have a very tough matchup with the Miami Hurricanes. It's going to be a massively good matchup. Jordy Swish return is in Gonna Tech. He says, go Virginia Tech. Shout out to Virginia Tech out there. Marcus Vick. We got James Franklin Bay. Also, Jacob Meyer playing with a chip on his shoulder. And that's exactly what I was going to bring. I appreciate you joining us here tonight. Appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button. Box Score Studio TV on YouTube. Again, we're up to 2,500 subscribers. Massively. Thank you, everybody out there. Huge jumps, huge leaps and jumps right there. Thanks to the Derek Irvin's documentary out there. Miami also. This is that chip on the shoulder game right here. Lane Kiffin, bye-bye from Ole Miss. Miami. Everybody said no ACC team should have been in the CFP. We knew they probably had to take a SEC team in there. You booted Notre Dame and you brought in Miami. If anything, Bama should have been the one to be booted and Notre Dame should have gone in over Bama. Nonetheless, we're here. Both teams, Miami. Carson Beck on a mission. Why? Nobody believed in him. He left Georgia. Nobody believed in Carson Beck. Goes to Miami. Now part of the Final Four. Has a chance to make it to the national championship game with a win over Ole Miss. Box Score Power Index for Miami Ole Miss says Miami's defense is too good right now. We're going 27-14 Miami. We are taking the Miami Hurricanes to beat Ole Miss in the Final Four round, the semis round. Leaving us with Oregon and Indiana, a Big Ten rematch. Indiana beat Oregon, and people are saying that Indiana is going to beat Oregon again, that it's a no-brainer right now. Stop with that. We've got to remember about Mendoza. Keep this stat in mind. When it comes to the higher team, like to the better teams, whether it be Big Ten or wherever, Mendoza has struggled. He has struggled against better competition. And even in other competition, I hate to downplay play, Mendoza's play, but he's been fantastic. He's been great. He's been awesome. But it's in those big games that we've seen him not put up gaudy numbers. We've seen him put up okay numbers. Just this weekend, 3 touchdowns, great. That was awesome. But 194 passing yards. So again, another big game for Indiana. Mendoza gets the job done, but it's not Heisman quality numbers. No matter what, they're getting the wins, they're getting through the competition. They are in the Final Four. They are going up against Oregon. Now, you've got the 2 best quarterbacks in the country right now, and Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza going head to head one more time. Can Mendoza get it done again? Or will Dante Moore lead Oregon and learn from that first game to get Oregon to the national championship game? Box score says this: we've been with Indiana from the beginning. We've been with them for the past couple of years. We've seen their success. Indiana is the second best defense in this Final Four right now. We are taking Indiana over Oregon by a score of 28-20. It might be high scoring. I don't know. I don't think so. I got 28-20, Indiana over Oregon, leaving us Indiana, Miami for the national championship game. We will give you coverage of the national championship game when it gets here, and we'll be doing that here on Box Score Studio TV. Also, shout out, if you guys want more sports coverage, be sure to follow me as well on Answer Now TV, which is another YouTube channel you can find me at. I do every single Sunday. I do a show called The Sports Answer for Answer Now TV on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button on there as well. I'm pretty much doing everything I can for everybody in the city right now. So appreciate, again, all the love out there. Love you guys for supporting the show. Oregon is winning the national title. I will not even argue with you on that, Eric. Appreciate you joining us here. You won't get an argument out of me. I really feel the national champion is going to come out of either Oregon. It's going to come out of the Oregon-Indiana game. Whoever wins that game is going to win the national title. No disrespect to Ole Miss, no disrespect to Miami, but thank you for coming. Thank you for playing. It's either going to be Oregon, it's going to be Indiana. I've got Indiana winning over Oregon. I've got them beating Miami, even though I kind of spilled it a little bit there. But again, I think the actual national champion does come out of Oregon, Indiana. Absolutely, for sure. Great comment. Appreciate the comment there. What do you guys have? That is the question for you guys out there. Who do you guys have winning when it comes to the national championship? Again, quick shout out here, the Derek Gervin story. Again, you can only find it on our YouTube channel, Box Score Studio TV. Go to our Box Score Studio TV YouTube channel. It is Box Score Studio TV. Hit that subscribe button. You can check out the Derek Gervin story, his rise from, MLK over in Detroit, playing in the Powell League in Detroit, going all the way up to being drafted by the 76ers, going overseas and making a massively big name for himself overseas. Remember, it's one path, one door that closes will always open up another. This story, it's going to tell you exactly what happened to Derek Gervin. And again, when life brought him down, he found ways to make everything good happen for him. Great documentary. And of course, if you don't know, he is the brother of George Iceman Gervin. Do get to mention him. He gets to mention a lot of NBA players in this documentary as well. Fantastically put by Dope Fresh Media and Box Score Studio. This is our first documentary, first of many. We got a couple more coming out here. Again, go support the Derek Gervin story on our YouTube channel. We got coaches fired. We've got, CFP talk. I'll say this. We caused a little bit of, not controversy, but we caused a little bit of an uproar. We'll get to this here in a little bit for just a little bit more. We're only going to be on here another 5 minutes or so. But when it comes to NBA basketball, you hear about the Trae Young situation. I've said it before. Trae Young's contract is not going to allow for any team to trade for him unless you want to sell tickets, which maybe Sacramento might make a little bit of sense. They needed a point guard forever. But if you're a top team, a New York Knicks, a San Antonio Spurs, whoever, you're not trading for Trae Young a lot of teams, in fact, teams that are just outside of the play-in or just outside of the playoffs shouldn't and probably will not, more than likely will not trade for Trae Young. That contract is horrendous. You're not getting the value of that contract. Trae doesn't bring anything more to your team for those numbers. Why? You're going to have to give up a massively amount of your core to make the contract and to make the money work. It's just not going to happen. Trae Young to me is really untradeable. It's untradeable Young is what it is. There's no way you can make that deal for anybody. So, what does Atlanta want to do? Atlanta loves Anthony Davis. I think Anthony Davis will end up in Atlanta. How do they make it work? Well, we put out a graphic here. I believe it was last week or maybe a week or this week. Actually, last week is when we put up this graphic. A three-way deal that is involving Atlanta, the Mavericks, and the San Antonio Spurs. Had people talk about it. We had people say, hey, you know what? It doesn't really work for me. Why doesn't it work for you? Let's see. Let's bring up that graphic now. We've got the Dr. Style says facts in here. He's also saying he's declined vastly. No defense, no hair, especially about the no hair part. Open border, mini girls, bathroom fraud. Democrats are disgusting. Hey, that's you can say whatever you want to hear. I will gladly put it on there, but it's whatever, man. The graphic that we're talking about here is this: a blockbuster 3-team trade that we had said, hey, this would work, and it does work if you do it at a trade machine. So the Hawks receive Anthony Davis and Kelly Olynyk. The Mavericks receive Kristaps Porzingis, Luke Kennard, Jeremy Sohan. They get that 2026 first-round pick swap from San Antonio. And, of course, the Spurs, as you see, get Zachary Risarchier. Now, if the Hawks get Anthony Davis and they end up keeping Trae Young, because, again, they're going to keep Trae Young. There's no team out there that's going to trade for him. And you're only giving up Porzingis and Kennard, basically, and Risarchier. You're not giving up a whole lot. You still got Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson. You've got a really good core there. You've got a really good core for Atlanta to make them an instant and immediate contender in the East. Anthony Davis there, as long as he can stay healthy for the rest of the season, that Atlanta Hawks team does shoot up. They do make the playoffs. Essentially, if the Spurs aren't a part of this deal, that 2026 first-round swap kind of is just null and void, because if they do get Davis and they keep Trae Young and they're able to keep guys like Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, this team gets instantly better, like a whole lot better. So that's where I'm trying to get the Spurs fans. You could give up that pick swap where it may turn into outside the lottery, maybe a little further, and add it to this deal. You're getting Zachary Risarchier, a former first overall pick. He was doing really good his rookie season. This year, he's not doing good at all. Just him and Quinn Snyder are just not working out. He's not working out with the team, and it's okay. Sometimes a change of scenery, a new venue is what a player needs. What is a positive for Risarchier on the Spurs? He's good friends with Victor. You got the French connection there. He's a young, athletic player. He's only, 22, if I'm not mistaken, 21? I mean, he's so raw right now that you've got one of the best coaching staffs in the NBA right now. Just look at the record of the Spurs. We've been saying it on Locked On Spurs. I've been saying it on Locked On Spurs all summer. They have one, if not the best coaching staff in San Antonio. They can work with Zachary and get him up to par. Do you need Zachary to put up number 1 pick numbers for San Antonio? No, he's not even going to be the 5th option. He is your future. For those saying Harrison Barnes, you mold a guy like Zachary Risarchier, as well as Carter Bryant, to start taking a lot of these guys' minutes. Harrison Barnes. You don't think Zachary can learn from Harrison Barnes? You don't think it makes no sense on there? You're wrong. It makes a lot of sense. Zach almost sold my parlay. Hey, sorry about that. That's the reason why this trade for me works, and I like this deal. Because that pick swap, if they get Anthony Davis in Atlanta, that pick swap is almost null and void. It's gonna go way, way down. So if you Spurs fans want to keep that pick swap, that's by all means, that's fine by me. This is just an idea out there. I think you're getting a hell of a deal. The only player that I don't like a part of this deal that we made, that we decided on, was Olynyk, because you're starting to see Victor. Is he going to make that 65 game threshold to get Defensive Player of the Year, to get All NBA? People are saying no. If that's the case, you're going to need another big and a more experienced big, which is Kelly Olynyk. Is it worth giving up Olynyk? This is the idea that we had. What do you guys think out there over at the Box Score Studio TV on YouTube? What do you guys think? Good deal, great deal, bad deal, wouldn't do it, go to hell, Rudy, whatever you want to say, guys. You just let me know about it. I did mention earlier before we go about a Cowboys idea here. I'm going to shine it real quick for you. I'm going to show it. We've got 2 deals in the works here. We're going to talk about that more as the week goes on here, because it is offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. But I know Sith is in here. Sith, the Raiders. Now, Max Crosby may win out of, he may win off of Vegas. So what did Cowboys think of a Max Crosby to Dallas deal? And they would be giving up their 2026 first round pick, a 2026 fourth round pick, next year's 2027 first round pick from Green Bay, and then, of course, a 2027 sixth round pick that they got from Pittsburgh. 4 picks, essentially 2 first. And we did put conditional picks to be included. There's a possibility there. The other part that we mentioned here was there might be a player like Williams maybe going to the Raiders. You may not need to give up anybody. But considering the Cowboys have 2 first-round picks this year, I think you deal one of them if you can, and you give it to Oakland. Cowboy fans, how do you feel about this? We're getting to more of this here in a little while, and next show. Also, Eagle fans, we're bringing this one up too. We're letting you guys on a little secret here. Myles Garrett, he wants to stay in Cleveland, but he's also made a little bit of news that he may want to go to the Eagles. We'll get into this trade idea here on the next box Score Studio, but could this potentially happen? Those are the 2 graphics that we are bringing up right now. We will talk more in depth on this here. From here on out, guys, I just want to give you a heads up. We appreciate everybody's support. We love you guys for supporting us. You will see a little link at the top there. That is a way for you to support the show, for everything we're doing here. We are putting out, more documentaries. We're going to be doing a whole lot more. So all the support that you give definitely will go to the studio. We'll go to everything that we are doing. We're working on doing some live shows at a couple of bars and a couple of venues in San Antonio. So we've got live shows coming up in venues. We've got more documentaries coming up. We've got more giveaways. We've actually got a giveaway that we're going to announce on the next show. So again, if you see that QR code up there, if you want to support the show, you can support the show. It is all going back to you guys out there. So again, everything we do, we appreciate. And again, thank you everybody for being a subscriber. We are at 2,500 plus on YouTube. Thank you again. Shout out to Answer Now TV on YouTube. You can catch me there on Sundays. You can catch me on the Sports Answer on every Sunday on Answer Now TV. And then you can catch me here on Box Score Studio during the week, time to time. All you got to do is go to Box Score Studio TV, hit that subscribe button. You can catch Jacob and Sith. They do Grading the Market here on Box Score Studio. They normally do it on Saturdays or on the weekend. So again, you're trading cards, collectibles, everything like that. They got you covered. Fantastic show. One of the best shows on the studio, as well as, hey, on YouTube. They do a fantastic job. Shout out to us together out there. It says go Pats. Yeah, definitely go Pats. And we got to go Dodgers. Go Dodgers, man. We got to get into more. We got to get some MLB talk. Maybe I'll get into MLB talk this week as well. I'm a Giants fan. Sorry, man. When it comes to baseball, I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. My dad was a Willie Mays fan. Huge Willie Mays fan. I followed Dad's footsteps. I became Will Clark. Favorite players, Kevin Mitchell, Matt Williams, and, all the way up to the freak, Tim Lincecum, Matt Cain. I just been a big Giants fan, so appreciate everybody the support. Pirates is in here, says go Pats again. Great, Dad. Go Rays as well. Yeah, appreciate everybody's support. Thank you guys for joining in tonight. Again, if you want to support the show, the link's right there. You can support the show all you want. It goes all back to the studio. We're doing, again, live venue shows. We're doing more documentaries. We're just doing a whole bunch of stuff. So appreciate everybody for joining me here tonight. And you know what, guys? We'll see you later. Until we do this again, which may be tomorrow, maybe Thursday, we'll let you know. But again, we're getting the schedule down. I appreciate you joining me tonight. Lots more coming up. Jacob, as well as Sith, will be joining me from time to time. Coach Gio is going to be hopping on from time to time as well. Thank you, Sam Salinas. Appreciate the support. It is 2026. It is Box Score Studio. Again, thanks for the support, guys. We'll see you soon.
This is Box Score Studio. Breaking it down, calling it real, and keeping you one step ahead of the game. Catch you on the next one.